Oh, hello there, and welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop. I'm Frank Foster, your host, and our mission here is, well, to explain every military award from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and even the Merchant Marine if you want us to. So, let's get started. Hello and welcome to Veterans Medals Workshop. I'm glad to have you here today because this is a special day. We're going to be number 6 in our series on the military medals of the United States. In this series, we're going to take a look at the medals awarded during the 1961 to 1973 Vietnam War. You kind of have to stop and take a moment's pause here. The United States entered World War II in 1941. Entered the Korean War around 1951, and they had advisors going into South Vietnam by 1961. There were a couple of things going on that are different here. A brand new medal was created called the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal to be awarded to members of the armed forces who served in places, well, like Vietnam, for which at that time there was no specific campaign medal. So that was awarded to members of the Special Forces and military advisors that went into Vietnam from 61 to 65. After 1965, with the arrival of, well, regular troops, beginning with the 173rd Airborne Brigade going into Bien Hoa, then a medal was awarded called the Vietnam Service Campaign Medal. And you had the option of swapping out your Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal for the Vietnamese, for the Vietnam Service Medal or not. And we'll then take a look at the other campaign medals that were awarded for that period. And a big change came in the Department of Defense regulations because they started to allow the receipt or award of foreign decorations and medals for meritorious service. Well, why shouldn't they? We had special forces and advisors. We had troops here for over 15 years, and many of them serving multiple tours. And the South Vietnamese government had an elaborate award system patterned after the French. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at, well, we're not going to go into excruciating detail on all of the medals because there are individual videos out there on any medal that you have a specific interest in, but we will take a look at all of the basic campaign medals and when they were awarded. We'll take a look at all of the decorations for valor and meritorious service, well, an overview, and we'll take a look at the more commonly awarded South Vietnamese medals. But I'll also put you onto a couple of videos that can give you all the detail you want on those medals. So enough talk. If you enjoy these, please give us a thumbs up, even better subscribe, but let's get going. The first medal was the National Defense Service Medal, which was authorized to all members of the U.S. Armed Forces for any honorable active federal service during the Vietnam War of January 1961 to August of 1974. Today, there are probably more people authorized this medal than any other award in U.S. history. Instituted in 1961, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was authorized for participation in military operations not covered by a specific war medal. The Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal was replaced by the Vietnam Service Medal shown on your right, and it was awarded for service in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, or Thailand between 1965 and 1973. There are 17 designated campaigns for the Vietnam Service Medal, and every medal would have at least one campaign star as shown on the medal to your right. The medal depicts an oriental dragon behind a grove of bamboo trees, and below the base of the trees is the inscription, Republic of Vietnam Service. The colors of the suspension drape and ribbons suggest the flag of the Republic of Vietnam. The medal on your left, the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, was awarded for earlier service in Vietnam from July 1, 1958 to July 3, 1965. Members of the armed forces receiving that award may be authorized the Vietnam Service Medal, but they're not authorized both awards for Vietnam service. Here are the three basic medals awarded for service in the Republic of Vietnam. Starting on your left, the National Defense Service Medal. In the center, the United States Vietnam Service Medal. And on the far right, the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal, which was awarded for 6 months' service in the Republic of Vietnam between 1965 and 1973, or if wounded, captured, or killed in action during that period. The Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal is a white six-pointed star with broad gold points between a central green disc with a map of Vietnam in the center, surrounded with three painted flames signifying the three regions of Vietnam. The lace on the medal is an integral part of the award, and it's a silver ribbon inscribed 1960- and was evidently intended to include a terminal date for hostilities. There are a number of variations of the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal. Starting on your left, one made in the Republic of Vietnam, then one made in Thailand, and then two variations of U.S. manufacturers. In the 1970s, the Republic of Vietnam authorized all American service personnel who served in Vietnam the award of the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry Unit Citation, as shown in the upper right-hand corner, with a gold frame for the Army and a smaller variation for the Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. This is not the same as the medal shown to the right, which was an individual award for valor. So when a soldier arrived in Vietnam, he would be authorized his branch insignia, as shown at the top, his unit badge, his National Defense Service Medal, and his marksmanship awards, while the Marine on the right would be authorized his Marine insignia, and in this case he displays the 1st Marine Division patch and the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry Unit Citation, which was awarded to all, and his marksmanship awards. Navy personnel would have at least the National Defense Service Medal as shown here, and airmen would have, well, in addition to their cap insignia shown and their qualification badge, their National Defense Service Medal and rank badges. After 30 days in Vietnam, the example shown here of a combat infantryman in the Americal Division would have his Vietnam Service Medal, shown in this case with 2 campaign stars, and perhaps would have been awarded the Combat Infantry Badge by then. On the right, the Marine example, note that the campaign stars are shown vertically on the drape of the ribbon. Navy personnel would also have been authorized the Vietnam Service Medal after 30 days. In this case, you notice that the campaign stars are mounted horizontally as opposed to the Marines being vertical. And on the right, the airman has also received the Vietnam Service Medal. In this case, he only shows 1 campaign star. After 6 months in country, our infantrymen in the Americal Division would be authorized the Vietnamese Campaign Medal, as shown here, as well as the Marine of the 1st Marine Division would also have the Vietnamese Campaign Medal. Award criteria for Navy personnel: after 6 months, they would be authorized the Vietnamese Campaign Medal, as shown here, and the airmen on the right would also have the Vietnamese Campaign Medal. I should point out that many enlisted personnel would also have been awarded the Good Conduct Medal, as shown as these examples of the Army on the left and the Marine Corps on the right. And here are Navy and Air Force examples with the award of the Good Conduct Medal. A special favor, please. If you enjoy these shows, please give us a like, and even better, subscribe. It'll keep us on the air. Okay, thank you. The highest decorations for valor during the Vietnam War are shown here, starting on your left, the Army Medal of Honor, then in the center, the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard Medal of Honor, and then the 1965 approved Air Force Medal of Honor. Stick with me and I'll show you a display of the first United States Air Force enlisted personnel to receive the U.S. Air Force Medal of Honor. The decorations for valor and meritorious service for the United States Army during the Vietnam War are shown here. Starting in the upper left-hand corner is the Distinguished Service Cross, then the Distinguished Service Order, the Silver Star, the Legion of Merit, the Distinguished Flying Cross, and then down to the second row is the Soldier's Medal, which was awarded for heroic non-combat deeds, the Bronze Star, the Purple Heart, the Air Medal, the Army Commendation Medal, and I show the Good Conduct Medal here as a decoration. The decorations for valor and meritorious service for the United States Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard are shown here, starting in your upper left with the Navy Cross, the Navy Distinguished Service Order, the Silver Star, Legion of Merit, Distinguished Flying Cross, Navy and Marine Corps Medal for heroism in non-combat situations, the Coast Guard Medal, the same name, and then for the bottom row, the Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Air Medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, the Coast Guard Commendation Medal, and then the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, the Navy Good Conduct Medal, and the Coast Guard Good Conduct Medal. The 5 Good Conduct Medals awarded during the Vietnam War are shown here, starting on your left, the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Marine Corps Good Conduct Medal, the Navy Good Conduct Medal, that's the USS Constitution in the center, the Air Force Good Conduct Medal, and the Coast Guard Good Conduct Medal. For information on the prestigious unit awards presented during the Vietnam War, check out our videos available on YouTube. Over the past 50 years, some of the more popular commemorative medals issued have been the Presidential Unit Citation Commemorative, the Meritorious Unit Citation Commemorative, the Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Cross Unit Citation Commemorative, and the Republic of Vietnam Civic Action Unit Citation Commemorative. Other popular commemorative medals are the United States Navy and Marine Corps Combat Action Ribbon Commemorative and the Combat Service Commemorative is shown here. The Republic of Vietnam awarded the Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Cross to many Americans, and it was awarded at the regiment level, division level, corps level, and Army level as indicated by the device. Other medals, as shown in the upper right, were the Republic of Vietnam Armed Forces Honor Medal, and gold is first class and silver was second class, and in the lower right was the Republic of Vietnam Civic Actions Medal. Other examples of Vietnamese awards are shown here. Starting on your left was the Navy's Distinguished Service Order in first class and second class, then the Navy Meritorious Award, the Vietnamese Navy Gallantry Cross, and then 2 Vietnamese-made examples of the Vietnam Armed Forces Honor Medal, first and second class, and the final medal being the Republic of Vietnam Staff Service Medal. We have 3 additional videos out there on South Vietnamese awards, and I'd like to point out that the book Medals and Insignia of the Republic of Vietnam has all of the military and civilian South Vietnamese awards available for you on Amazon. Every Vietnam veteran's experience was unique and different, and I'd like to wrap up by taking a look at the individual unique displays of 5 different veterans from each one of the armed forces. This Army Specialist 4th Class shows his 2nd Field Force patch and his ribbons over his medals, to include a Vietnamese Civic Action Medal and 2 commemoratives to indicate combat service, and his award of a Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry Unit Citation. This Marine Sergeant had a sense of humor because he displays his P-38 can opener next to his dog tags. But what is really unique, if you take a look at his Vietnam Service Medal, you will see a silver campaign star and a bronze campaign star, which indicates 6 campaigns or probably 2 tours in Vietnam. This is really a unique Vietnam Veterans Display case because it's of a Navy chaplain who served with both the Marines and the Navy. And he has a Legion of Merit and a Purple Heart, and his campaign medal shows 4 campaign stars, and he's received the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry. What a unique display. Here's a one-of-a-kind display. Airman First Class John Levito was the first U.S. Air Force enlisted personnel to receive the Air Force Medal of Honor. He was awarded that Medal of Honor for saving his AC-47 gunship and crew in Vietnam. And he not only earned the Medal of Honor, but 2 Republic of Vietnam Gallantry Crosses, his Purple Heart, and 8 Air Medals. An extraordinary display of valor. The final case is a Coast Guard Petty Officer displaying his Coast Guard Commendation Medal, Good Conduct Medal, as well as his Marksmanship Medal after the Vietnamese Campaign Medal in his display. Thanks for joining us today for our series on the Vietnam War, 1961 to 1973, and all of the campaign medals and decorations and foreign awards that were issued to our veterans who served in Vietnam. Next time, we're going to take a look at the medals of the Gulf War. In the period between Vietnam and the Gulf War, when a lot of new medals and decorations came into being, to include ribbon-only awards. I think you'll enjoy it. So see you next time on Veterans Medals Workshop. And special thanks to Medals of America and Fountain Inn, South Carolina for sponsoring us. See you next time. If you'd like more information and complete details on all the military awards of the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force, and even all of the military patches, check out our books on Amazon.